Hey everybody, welcome back to Reach Out Reptiles. My name is Garrett Hartle, and in the studio with us this week is none other than Brian Farley from Reptile Revival. If you guys don't follow his social media, you should. You guys are putting out, like, you're crushing it, but the content is so high quality.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate that.
Very cool. Brian actually came out to see a clutch that we produced here from his animals. So what do we have going on here?
This is the result of like 4.5 years of waiting. This here is the pinnacle of the clutch. It's an orange glow snow Motley Tiger.
First time ever made. That sucker is amazing.
It is everything all in one, and it is more than we ever imagined it would be. We can't believe it. I'm just kind of speechless. I've been here for hours now, and I keep going back to hold it.
We pulled all the flavors out for you guys to check out for the for this intro, but if you actually want a deep dive on what these snakes are and what Brian really thinks about them, you can watch our vlog. Go subscribe to there and you'll see that one come out. But what we actually have Brian here for is to play yet another round of what I would buy with $5,000. So let me take all these away because you can't afford any of them. Before we jump into what you would have bought, why don't you tell us a little bit about the perspective coming at this shopping spree?
We, my wife and I, started our journey with super dwarf retics a little over 5 years ago. The locality stuff is really near and dear to our heart.
It takes like a true connoisseur, you know what I mean, to fully appreciate what's going on there. Well, let's run down to the snake room and see what we got.
I have some ideas on what I want to look for, so
okay.
It's gonna be good.
Right on. All right, how do you think you did? You spent $5,000. I know you have like an option A and B. Yeah. Maybe you guys can vote and help Brian decide what his ultimate spending spree should contain.
I'll tell you, it's hard to make a decision between just looks like we were talking about and then the long-term vision, you know? But I think I did a good job of picking a little of both.
Let's see what you got here. Oh, that is a cute little pile of babies.
This one was definitely a favorite. This is a Sunfire Phantom Marble.
Yeah.
It has got some Slayer influence.
You're gonna like this better. This one is Slayer, Kalatoa, and Madhu.
Ooh, that's why I like it so much. That Madhu influence really makes them like, I don't know, the only word I can use is like creamy. Does that make sense? Like they just look really dainty and beautiful. Like on the side rosettes here, there's just not an extra spot at all.
It's like clean and
so
perfect.
Clean and perfect, yeah. And how the tail turns to just orange here is...
There's almost pinks, like underlying, kind of like pink and green coming together to make an orange, if that even makes sense.
Right. And the marble pattern on the top looks very like, if you mixed a Krispy Kreme with a marble, that's what it would look like, I think. This would be a great animal for breeding, but really it was just a beautiful animal that I thought that I would pick out.
It's 100% head anery too. With this being a male, they're $4,000. You have a little bit of money left over, so you spend $4,000 on this guy. Let me hold him now because he's looking too cute. We had some leftovers. These aren't really priced yet, so you kind of cheated here. But you're like, I got some leftover money, so I get to pick one more. So what is this?
So this is a Sunfire that is from a Krispy Kreme clutch that hatched recently. So I picked out this beauty because she has got this Slayer influence going on that I absolutely love. She's also got a little bit of that Jamp sauce and the Kalatoa influence. She is absolutely beautiful. She's head anery too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so
is this. So this would actually make a really nice pairing right here.
Right. Anery is my favorite recessive gene. I'm just a lover of the classics, you know?
Yeah,
and it just seems like such a classic morph. But Sunfire, I've always wanted a Sunfire with a tail that looks like this one. They just kind of melt, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like watercolor or something.
When they get a little bit bigger, it just gets better and better and better looking.
That's pretty good. You can't deny those chonky cheeks of the Slayers too. So cute.
Yep.
Okay, so there's option A. You've got the Marble Phantom Sunfire and the Sunfire Head Anery, both with some Slayer influence, this one with Madu as well.
Yep.
Okay, so option B, I think you said you still wanted to keep that, but there was something else you might swap this out for.
Yeah. So the first question I asked when we went down there was, do you have any Madus? Because that's been on my list for, I don't know, 4 years now. So I was able to talk Garrett down in my theoretical choosing of these snakes.
You're a theoretical, very good negotiator
Yeah, theoretically,
to get that in this price range.
for sure. This is an Anery Madu. This is honestly like a bucket list snake for me.
Yeah, you gotta own one before you die if you're somehow able.
Yeah, and I would get this thing to look at it and look at it and look at it.
They're cute. They still have those chonky cheeks, and they're
Yeah.
just like, I don't know.
It's just adorable.
It is adorable.
Not only that, I love the Madu influence, so down the road I think we would just make pures with it. You know,
Absolutely.
Just to spread the love.
Truth is, if I gave you $5 grand and you got to run around downstairs, you'd never even get to look at that animal.
Yeah.
Not at that price being a visual anery.
Yeah.
But we do sell Madu males for $3,500. It's just that the waiting list for them is several years long.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you have done very well for yourself.
Well, it's been nice for the moments that I've been able to pretend.
All right, guys, so here's what I want to know. Would you guys go with his first option, which would be the Sun Marble Phantom and the Sun Slayer? Or would you go with we're going to pretend like it's not an anery for a minute, but a Madu Pos Het Anery, we'll say, for $3,500, and the Sun Slayer Het Anery? Or would you just blow the budget altogether and go buy Brian out of his Snow Chino or Snow Glow clutch? And if you guys like this kind of a video, you can check out Jordan Carpenter, who stopped by the shop to pretend to spend $5,000 of my money too. You can watch that video right here.
That was a good one.
Go check out Reptile Revival on all the social. What's the best place to follow? YouTube, right?
YouTube is what we're pushing hard, but Instagram, all the socials, Reptile Revival.
Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah?
It was great.